Squatters, I hope you guys are good. Welcome back to the Squatter Camp podcast YouTube channel. Thank you to the people who watch my content. Let's continue engaging. And those who have not subscribed, please log in and subscribe. It's for free. You don't pay to subscribe. We talk about many issues, political issues, socio-economic issues which are affecting us as South Africans, most probably based in South Africa, because we are trying to reconstruct our country. So Carlson Tucker gave Ernst Roets a 2-hour interview. This thing was well orchestrated, by the way. It's funny how when you look at the interview, I will not be able to, to summarize everything in a short space of time. I'm trying to be short at the same time. I'm trying to summarize everything that was discussed there. But what I saw there, if you ask me now, I saw 2 white men sitting having a conversation about issues in South Africa which do not exist. And they are trying to create an international attention from the international community that Afrikaners, especially white Afrikaners, so to be specific, they are going through a lot in the country. The question remains that, number one, how do white Afrikaners expect us to approach this land issue? I need them to tell us how do they expect us as Black South Africans who are dispossessed of land are expecting us to approach this land issue, because this is an issue and we cannot keep on ignoring that there is an issue. I don't mind about other issues that they mentioned, but the land issue remains the bone of contention. And another thing that I can say is that I've noticed that he is actually glorifying Nelson Mandela. I will be sorry on this one. He is glorifying Nelson Mandela and says he was one of the best that ANC has ever had. And I've got the opposite view, that Nelson Mandela is not a hero to all of us. Some of us, Nelson Mandela is not a hero, he's a sellout. Because during the CODESA negotiations, he gave these white Afrikaners more powers and privileges on top of what they had. And actually, the Nelson Mandela that came out of prison was too kind to these people. That is why they had so much privilege to do whatever they want to do, and still they continue to feel that they are well within their rights to keep the land. And we want the land. As Black people, they must know that we want the land and we are not going to rest until we get the land back. Whether we become Zimbabwe, that's another story for another day. They must just surrender. They must just be ready to share the land, because willing buyer, willing seller, all those stupid policies didn't work for us Black South Africans, because we can't afford to buy something which was stolen, something which was taken by force from us. So we are going to share the land. It's a fact. Even if the ANC government decides otherwise, we are still going to push this struggle. And at some point, they must be really careful that there's no revolution, because if they keep on being resistant, they keep on bragging to us as if what they did to us was right, we are going to have a serious problem. I hear them saying white Afrikaners are being attacked in South Africa, they are under siege and all of that. I have never heard Carlson Tucker asking Ernst Roets, what are they going to do in a sense of correcting what the apartheid government did to the Black South Africans. They never spoke about. That's why I'm saying I saw 2 white racist men having a conversation about us Black South Africans without us. At the same time, because the conversation was just inconsistent and was just partial. It was one-sided and it was accommodating both of them because they are white, and they never even bothered to know about how we actually feel. Another point is that this issue of necklace and matches, Those are just the myth. I've never publicly heard anyone mentioning the necklace issue and the matches and all that. I'm talking about white Afrikaners who are too scared, who are always shivering because they are the land thieves. They stole the land, and you know, someone who stole, they always feel guilty, they always look behind if anyone is watching them and all of that. So Ernst Roets is glorifying Nelson Mandela, and he's speaking ill of Mamuini Mandela. Mamuini Mandela, to me, is a hero than Nelson Mandela. That may their soul rest in peace, by the way, both of them. But that mama stood for black South Africans more than the Nelson Mandela, the glorified Nelson Mandela. To some of us, Nelson Mandela really sold out, because many issues that we are facing today, it is because of Nelson Mandela. Another issue that I thought they will touch on it, but I actually expected them not to talk about it. It's lack of transformation. We cannot have a minority ethnic group in South Africa with so many resources, massive resources, and having so many black people, black poor masses, continuing to be poor. There's no transformation. There's nothing. All the key positions in big companies and all of that are actually senior positions are given to them. They occupy those positions and give reserve this low positions for black people. It's a concern. In South Africa, there is a problem of white people wanting to hold on to power, and the problem here is that our government, which is the ANC government, sold out black people a long time ago. They are not representing us and all of that. And I want to quote also, he even mentioned that as Afrikaners, they need to be armed. They need to be armed, they need to be united and all of that. These people are ready for a war. These people are planning for a war, because if you are saying you need to be united, you need to be well armed and all of that, it's a war. Some of these issues that they spoke about, the issue of security, that they are spending too much in security. Yes, it's for their protection because they've got money. Where do they want to spend their money? They need to spend their money to protect themselves, because they feel that because they caused this issue of landlessness and unemployment and all of that, black people are bitter anyway. And so when they see an opportunity to take something from them, they will, definitely. We can blame them, but we can't blame them because they are the perpetuators of the situation. Another issue that I want to touch on is that he continues to undermine black people to say they cannot be farmers. And he even mentioned that if you give a farm to a black person, the black person will sell it to a white person again. Then again, we have a white farm and all of that. Those are superiority mentality kind of comments, which were just inconsistent. Yes, we know that we've got KZN, which has got Ingonyama Trust, and it should be building agricultural sector through empowering black people and all of that. Our own people, our own brothers and sisters, they have abandoned us. So we have to actually face this war. We have to face the reality. The reality here is that as black people, we need to fight for this. He also mentioned the construction mafias. Yes, that's true that in South Africa there is construction mafias. All those other issues, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about what exactly are they planning to do in terms of reparations to black people who were dispossessed of land. 2021 July unrest, he also mentions, they also discussed and laughed about it, that there were Indians who were carrying rifles, fully automated rifles during the 2021 and July unrest. They laughed about it. Those rifles were aimed to shoot at black people who wanted to loot, poor black people who were hungry, who wanted to loot, to take food and eat. They laughed about it because why? It doesn't bother them. It doesn't touch on them. So those are the things that when you entirely look at the interviews, the interview these two gentlemen had, you can see that no, these people, they were just engaging to brag on us that, okay, I'm Carlson Tucker, I've got 3 point something million subscribers. They are watching me. I'm dominant. I'm staying in the US. I've never slept on an empty stomach. I've never experienced apartheid with my eyes. I've never been tortured. I've never been incarcerated. Black people went through a lot. It's a fact. And for the fact that they went through a lot, they were dispossessed of their land. It is time now that we fix this issue, because we don't want to go to revolution. Because yes, if they insist, if there's some sort of resistance, we are going to get into another phase. We have passed that stage of negotiations and talking and interacting and what. Now it's time for us to do action, to be in action now. That, listen, we share the land, or we are going to jump into revolution. We don't mind becoming Zimbabwe. Why are the white Afrikaners so concerned of us becoming Zimbabwe? Because it's us black people who are going to starve. So at the same time, you can see that no, these people are not actually protecting the country or protecting us. They are protecting their business interests. They are protecting their assets, which were stolen from us. And now we need reparations. Reparations now, no, there's no other time. It's non-negotiable. Even if the ANC makes a U-turn, a 360 turn, that no, we are not going to do that, because I know how much ANC, how dirty ANC can be on this kind of these critical issues. They can push something when people are supercharged, then they retract. They retract and they withdraw. They say, no, comrade, let's not do that now. We'll chase the investors away and all of that. Black South Africans, I need to mention this, that if we don't fight for the land to be returned, we are not going to get the land. The ANC has got no intentions to fight for us. They failed us in so many instances. So nothing, really nothing convinces me that these people, these ANC crooks, some of them, they also own plots. Some of them, they own farms. The Tandimudisos, where the pigs died because of hunger at her farm and all of that. So we know that they also gave themselves farms through corrupt bills and all of that. So as black, poor South Africans, we need to fight our own war. And if this thing doesn't, we can't fix it. He's complaining about Nota's remarks. Someone who does not have Ubuntu, do you call that person a human being? Because no matter white or black or colored or Indian or what, if you don't have Ubuntu, you are literally equivalent to subhuman, because you don't have a sense of humor. As Africans, we know that we need to have a sense of humor, which is the reason why we are landless now. Because when white people came, Jan van Riebeeck came to South Africa in 1652. The same Africans accommodated him, gave him some tea. It was too cold in Cape Town and all of that, not knowing that he has got ill intentions. When he goes back to his home country, he's going to call his brother to come and colonize our country. So it is so sad. And by the way, also on this issue, it's only white Afrikaners who has got a problem with this land issue and all of that. English people, they don't have a problem. They are very professional, and then they don't even entertain that. White Afrikaners are, because those are the land thieves. Those are the people who stole the land. He also mentioned that students also were taking statues, the likes of Cecil John Rhodes and all of. In Pretoria, they had to secure Paul Kruger there in Pretoria, because they were scared that black people will attack their monument. Yes, we need to attack their monument, because those are the reminders of apartheid. So in order to kill this apartheid, everything that is portraying the image of apartheid, we need to crush it. That one, I don't blame the students. They did an honorable thing by crushing it. And for Julius Malema, for him to say Julius Malema was not prosecuted about his song, that is a struggle song. That is a song we sing when we are so sad, and then we know that yes, the reality is that we are landless now because of Bati Nindi Bonandi Njendi Zula Zula Kunyenga Mapon Miriam Makeba. you see me struggling, walking around the street, homeless, is because of these white Afrikaners. They did that. They brutalized black people. They attacked black people. Some of these black people who died during the apartheid are still not accounted for, even until today. So this is a ticking time bomb issue that even whatever they try to avoid it, left, right, or center, we're going to get there. And if they keep on being resistant, then we will jump into a revolution. We don't want our country to go into revolution because they are the most scared people. They can't defend themselves. They can't kill all the black people in South Africa. They can't just switch off. We are not the main switch. They can't. And black South Africans are not fighting. They say, let us share the land. Let us share what we have stolen. In fact, we should be taking what was stolen, all of it. So we say, let us share. They don't want to share. It's so sad. I don't know. My question is that how do they want black people to get reparations out of what has happened? They know the history very well. They know what they did to black people, and now they are sitting there comfortable, wanting to cause chaos unnecessarily. Now we don't talk. We don't go to negotiation tables and all of that. No, we are going to take now. And whoever is resistant, then it means he is against the will of the people. He is against transformation. He is against fighting poverty and all of that. Black people are poor because they are landless. Squatters, thank you for watching my content. Those who have not subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell when I drop the content. At least you happen to be the first, to watch my content. Let's keep engaging. That's my view, that the whole interview was just a setup. I don't know, squatters. I'll hear your views.